What's up, we're back to me doing production, man. They're switched on the overlay. Nothing you can do about it. This is a podcast, and so who cares if everything's wrong on everyone's screens? It's BaRRaCCuDDa, as per usual, and joined by Phase 3 playoff champ Aror, the support for the Tartarus Titans. Aror, thanks for coming on, man, after a big dub.
Wait, are the names always swapped when I'm here?
Yeah,
does it happen a lot?
No, it happens a lot.
Okay, that's good.
I'm gonna be honest. It's my fault. It's I thought you guys joined. It's about like when you guys joined the call, and I thought that BaRRa joined first, but he didn't, and so it's
How is this my fault?
It isn't. I never said it was your fault, BaRRa. You were getting awfully defensive there, man. Okay?
Well, I just assumed that you were going to blame me.
I take full responsibility, and that's the way it goes. So, that's how it is. BaRRa, can you believe we did our like live AMA
Why are my
last week?
sweaty?
Yeah,
no,
dude, I feel like this was a long week.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was a longer week than normal. It was like 7 days, right?
That's the normal week.
Oh.
Okay, it's gonna be one of those.
Well, then it was a normal week. Look, I've watched 8 hours of Smite today. I've watched 19 games of Smite. My brain is literal mush. So I'm ready for this podcast.
So you've downloaded everything that happened this weekend, basically. You've got it all directly ingrained straight into your brain, is what you're telling me.
And I've kind of learned that I don't understand Smite currently.
Yeah.
Which, thankfully, we have someone here that does.
Yeah, maybe Aror could explain Smite to us, because I clearly didn't either. But let's start off talking about the Phase 3 playoffs, shall we? We started on Friday. Aror's team got a bye because they went off during the Phase 3 regular season and group stages. So it started with you, BaRRa. You and your boys kicked it off against the Jade Dragons.
Woohoo!
And look, sometimes it happens. That set was not super close.
No, game 1, we drafted what we have been practicing a lot. And when you get stomped that hard on something you practiced a lot, you kind of start scrambling, and that's kind of exactly what we did. Because we were like, going into game 1, we're like, okay, we know we're going to get behind a little bit. That's fine. And then we're 5k down at like 13 minutes. And then we're like, okay, we gave up the first round of Golden Pyro, but we have to defend the next one. And now we're 5k down, and our team comp can't kill anyone. So now we just lose the game, I guess. And then that's where we were. And then game 2, we got really split up at a gold fight and had a terrible gold fight. And game 3, I think we just got way out drafted again. I just think we just seemed lost. Like, we seemed lost, and we seemed like we were just spectating, like watching them play Smite, and that's not fun.
I was kind of losing at game 1, man, when it's a 4-0 game, and that's the final tally, by the way, in kills. 4-0 for the Jade Dragons, and it's like, you guys couldn't defend first Phoenix, okay, and then the next Phoenix, like, all right, and the next Phoenix, and there's still no engage, and I'm kind of thinking, like, are we going to be doing anything here? And the answer was just kind of no. Aror, I assume you were watching the set pretty closely because you were playing the winner of it. What were your thoughts when watching this game? And pretend BaRRa's not here, so you could be super mean to the Bolts if you want to be.
Okay.
Please don't. I'll cry.
No, I just think the Bolts should just pick pressure because they're playing against the Dragons. You kind of have to pick pressure when you play the Dragons or you lose the game. Maybe against a different team, it's okay, but the worst team to not pick pressure against is that team. Because I feel like out of all the teams in the league, you kind of have to change how you play against the Dragons because that's what they do. And that's what they've done for like a long time. So you kind of have to match it or pick more, or you're just going to lose.
Aurora, are you telling me that the Khepri Charybdis duo lane with Afro Kama mid that's not gonna be getting the push? That's not gonna be getting the pressure over there?
We lost pressure because the mid jungle.
Yeah, Kama Afro, bad mid prep.
That is a dual lane thing, though. It is really frustrating when your mid jungle loses, and you're like, and they're like, why don't you guys have dual pressure? Like, okay, what do you mean? Why don't we have dual pressure? If the jungler comes over and it's like, hey, and then if you hit the wave, he's like, okay, it's time to kill you, and if you don't hit the wave, you have to sit there and watch you sit there because they're just like, oh, if you walk up, you die, and then if you don't, then you don't get farm, and then you're just behind, and then then you're just not having fun. Because I think you guys game 1 died. They hit level 5 first, right? And then you just got double ulted and died. And if you had alphas, you probably contest, but yeah, you didn't.
They got the alphas because they walked into duo jungle at like a minute, so we had to back up, and then we lost all pressure. And I didn't think Jake was gonna die. He got like, they had a really good combo with like the Ganesh ult, like up against the wall, and Jake was like here, so we had to like walk through 2 ticks.
Jake played it okay though too. He dodged, didn't he? Dodged the Ganesh 3 as well. They're just level 5, so you just die there. I feel like.
I think I could have potentially blocked an auto or 2, but I thought Jake was gonna be fine either way. Watching it back and like, I don't know, being like really critical of myself, I could have potentially saved him, I think, but I had to like walk either through the Ganesh ult or just like awkwardly in. And as a carry in that situation, you're just like,
he's fine.
Seems weird. Yeah, he'll live, right? He's a support.
Who's your guys' jungler that game? I forgot already.
Kamazats.
Kama, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys don't really have a jungler with CC, so you're just like sitting there saying, "Okay, we're losing. Now we're gonna keep losing." That's basic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I lost.
mean, if they made a mistake, you had Zeus that game though, right?
They had Zeus.
They had Zeus.
Yeah.
Oh, you had Afro. Oh,
right.
I guess it's same thing though. You have Afro. If they make a mistake, maybe you guys get back in the game. But I feel like they're just a good team when they get ahead. So it's just hard to win when that happens.
You get like against dragons, like you said, Aurora. Like if you don't match their pressure or beat them in pressure, you just get like choked out. Like they just control all the vision on the map, and then I don't feel safe stepping up to the wave because I don't know where Sam's been for the last minute and a half. And Sam's also the jungler that will sit there for a little bit and look for ganks on you. So like, he was like Osiris, like game 1 and 2, and then he was Fenrir game 3. Yeah, and like, I don't know, if I walk up, I get ganked and die. Like, I don't know. It's such a hard situation. But yeah, you're 100% right, and you basically hit the nail on the head for a whole set. Yeah, oh yeah, in game 1, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that matchup in a minute. I do want to talk about the other quarterfinal match, which was the Camelot Kings up against the Solar Scarabs. This one was kind of a banger. Went all 5. And what were... I don't know. I said it on the desk a little bit, but I came away from that first Dragon set and like... I actually was able to take some time and prep for this LAN, and like I played a lot more Smite, and I had a pretty good feeling of where I thought the meta would end up going. And it looked pretty similar to what the Jade Dragons were doing, and so that's why I was pretty high on what, on them during that set, and on the desk for your set against them, Aror. And then I kind of watched the Solar Scarabs and Camelot Kings set, and this was not particularly clean Smite from either side, I'd say. These games got kind of ugly. But both teams did do pretty good things, but also didn't... we did see some Book of the Dead from BaRRaCCuDDa and a little bit from Big Man as well, but I was really convinced that was like the meta direction that was trending. So this set was kind of weird for me. Aurora, I guess I'll ask you first. What did you watch the set super closely, and what did you take from it?
Oh yeah, I watched the set. The Scarabs looked really good, I feel like. The most... Was it game 2 that they won in like 19 minutes or something? Yeah,
they won in 1937. They stomped them.
That was a really good game by them, I feel like. That's probably the cleanest game out of like all the games in that set.
Agreed.
But I feel like the Scarabs were one... It's like Stuart, game 5, him and Inbound made like a really good play in dual lane that they double killed, like Nitro to like a TP into ult. And then he landed and Inbound was there Stu dashes away, double root into alt, into flag, into Hachi alt, and they kill both of them. And then they're like at like a huge advantage, and then they walk up to solo side Phoenix, and they're just there, and then they just are like, okay, time to take damage and not use anything. And then they kind of just took damage, and they're like, oh no, I have to alt out after I'm like 1 HP. But I feel like they played really good, but then they did that. So it was just so unfortunate, because I feel like they had a good shot of winning the set there if they... Because they were in the driver's seat to win Game 5 for sure, and then they just did that.
Yeah, I think that was game 4 that...
Was it game 4? Oh,
yeah,
okay. Where they were up 2-1.
Right.
Were they up 2? Yeah.
Yes, they were up 2-1.
Yeah, so game 4, I guess then. So yeah, I thought they were gonna take the set there, but then the Kings just bounced back after all that, and they just played it really well. Like from there out, like they capitalized on the mistakes that the Scarabs made, and they won.
Yeah, I thought the Kings really just counterpunched really well in this set. BaRRa, what as someone who just watched all the games today, what did you think about this set?
Yep. Kind of similar thoughts to Aror. I just feel like Scarabs they're like really good, and then they'll just kind of throw it away, and then they'll have like signs of brilliance again, and then they'll throw it away, and it kind of hurts me to watch, because I kind of feel like that's like season 6 like SSG, where like they'll do really good, but they just won't win a set, and it seems weird because they're really good, but they'll just make like really simple mistakes sometimes, or just like way overextend. I don't know. And also, I think I saw a lot of double hunter in this set, and that kind of surprised me, because I thought mages were super strong going into this weekend, but I guess sometimes you just get snuffed out by the double hunter.
Yeah, I mean, BaRRaCCuDDa played AMC really well. In particular, game 2 where they won super quickly. He struggled pretty hard. It looks like game 5. But
game 5, they got double killed in mid. I think at like the beginning of the game.
That was like BaRRaCCuDda's best game probably this year. He played really well that game.
Yeah, that game too. Yeah, BaRRaCCuDDa has clearly gotten a lot better like every phase. And that's a really good sign for the Scarabs. And they always take it to 5, man. I don't know. You know, they always go 5 every time. So whenever it's placement time, you know, you only have to win one more in order to not lose, or in order to move on. So, you know, maybe they can put it together, but like you said, Barry, it just feels like it's like, okay, they're doing good, and what's going to end up going wrong?
I think it's just because they're so scrappy. So when you play that scrappily, it's not calculated. Like, I would say like Kings and Titans are way more calculated than a team like Scarabs. Like Titans seem to make a lot more intelligent decisions, and then Scarabs are just like, oh, you're here, so we're gonna fight you, and hope it turns out well. So I don't know. Like, I have a lot of respect for Scarabs and a lot of respect playing against them, but just watching from a top-down perspective, it just seems messy. But I mean, to the same note, Kings seemed just as messy in this set.
Yeah, they did. The Kings played in a way that made me think that their set against Leviathans was going to be swift. That I thought the Leviathans were going to come in and absolutely dominate them, based on the way they played against the Scarabs, but obviously quite wrong. But we'll talk about that set in a little bit. Time to talk about Aror, your set up against the Jade Dragons. In game 1, they get a very similar draft to what they were playing up against the Bolts. You know, the Zeus, the Ganesh, Pressure Jungler, Achilles for Final K. And you guys kind of got crushed. That was a 17-1 score line. And I already know the answer, but I feel like I need to ask this question anyways. Like BaRRa said, when you kind of come into a set and you've been practicing one thing, and then you get absolutely dominated game 1, sometimes it causes you to scramble a little bit. Did the thought cross your mind, like, is what they're doing what we should be doing, or did you really did you trust your process?
Nah, to be honest, we kind of rolled the dice in the first draft for fun. It didn't roll into our favor, so we kind of knew what we wanted to do in the second draft, like after game 1. But I felt like they just like they're just a team. If they get an advantage on you and they have good pressure picks, they're just gonna beat you. I feel like, and we didn't have enough pressure game one in terms of what they had, and they just played it very well, like they always have. So
I thought your Ares pick in this game was so smart. Like, I was like, man, this Ares can totally just insta carry this game if they don't fall too far behind. But like you said, the mid 2v2 pressure just ended up kind of hosing you on this pick.
yeah,
I felt like.
if we won that fight when they went on Cyclone, we might have been able to bring the game back or at least stay close enough. But we also lost the 2v2. But also, it was really kind of weird because it takes a while to load into the game on our new server. So I'm like, I was gonna go beads no matter what is my first relic, and I'm thinking, I'm like, maybe I just go blink because it's like so good here. And I literally, in that time loading in, I convinced myself that blink was better than beads. And realistically, I should have went beads in that first game, but it was fine.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate. I felt, dude, Benji, like, it got to the point where they were grouping and 5v5ing, and I think, like, 2 or 3 fights in a row, Benji just got Erlong ulted into Ganesh ulted and insta died.
Benji didn't have beads either. He also talked himself. I remember him saying in the game, I'm just going to get Sunder here instead of beads. And he's like, okay, that was not a good idea after the game was over. Because he literally just got CC chained down, so.
Yeah. And then the adjustments certainly came through. You guys just, like, insta-banned Zeus. Definitely took a lot of bans at Hurry. Your game 2 bans were Sol, Zhong, Zeus. Trying to take him off those picks. I feel like that obviously, it worked out pretty well. But do you think it was just that adjustment for changing what they were playing in mid, or were there other things you think you did that made a big difference as well?
Yeah, no, for sure that helped. Game 2 was really close, though. I feel like that
it was.
I just feel like our comp was a lot better than theirs. So if we got a real 5v5 against them, we were gonna win. But they kept taking really good fights and forcing us into bad plays, which we kept falling for, which was bad by us. So they had a chance to win that game. Like, they easily could have gone up 2-0, and then who knows what would have happened in the set. But from the start, we just all kept saying our comp's better. We just need to find a way to fight together, and we're gonna win no matter what. And that's what we were able to do eventually.
Man,
but
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I really thought with the way that all those fights were going in the early to mid game, like Sam's scoreline doesn't look great here at 2, 3, and 9, but he was going off. Like, he was doing so much in that game.
Oh my god!
And that one play on Hachi, like, that was nuts.
That was not even a good play.
Come on.
Okay, okay. From my perspective, it's not a good play. Obviously, for the viewers and the casters, it's a good play. But I miss my shell on Cyclone. He literally kills him if my shell hits. So, like, for me, it's like a bronze level play by me. It felt like that game, I felt like I played like I was a bronze player. I literally I was Ganesh walking down the street with 1 HP into an Achilles ult at the end of the game. And I'm like, oh, I'm in execute range. I'm dead. I literally didn't even realize it was execute range. I literally walk into Achilles ult and he kills me at the end of the game. And I was like, oh, that's not good, I'm thinking. But it ended up being fine. But, like, that play, if you go watch it back. I literally, he's Circuit tossing him. Circuit's not going to insta-kill him off his ult. Right. If I just wait for after the toss and shell him, he dies there every time. But he tosses him away from my shell because I insta-shell like a idiot. And then he dies. Like, the play, okay, I shouldn't say the play. For me, though, from my perspective, the play wasn't very good. It was just me making a huge mistake, which usually that's what happens when really cool highlight plays happen, is when a team makes a mistake. So, but from my perspective, it was just like, oh my god, that was so bad. I could have just waited to shell him because he didn't one-shot him.
Right.
And as long as my shell went off, he would have lived for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, was that why Spinner dashed back in, like, so aggressively? Was that why Spinner dashed back in? Because he got Circuit ulted and then, like, dashed back in.
He just tried to kill him, that's why.
Oh, okay.
But, because, like, he knew he was dead there, so he was just going to try to trade.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I get it, Aror. You know, no one gets 360 alley-ooped on without someone missing a rotation in basketball. You know, that you're right. That is how the highlight plays happen.
Yeah. But no, I'm not saying that was like a bad play. It was just like, it was just, oh, it's just so frustrating from my perspective because after the game, I'm like, I can't believe I missed my shell. Oh, like, I walked out to go to the bathroom with Cyclone. I'm like, I missed my shell. That was so bad. And then I'm like, I also walked into Achilles at the end as well. That's
what it's a team game.
Was anyone watching the game or no? I want to go watch it back. I wonder if chat was
I'm trying to find it right now.
I wonder if chat was spamming question marks when I talked to Achilles because that was so bad. Oh my god.
Fine did have a very good game on the Achilles.
Yeah.
8-2, maybe should have been 7-2 if Aror didn't gift him one there at the end. But he did like 40k damage on this pick. Was like absolutely going off.
The play that was really good was that started that play. I think that Sam made is when he blinked on Cyclone. Like that play is more impressive, honestly, to me because that was just he just got behind us and he had a really good flank that started the fight that allowed Sam to make that play, like in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he double stunned on Pyro, but I know he stunned Cyclone at least and basically made him Hachi ult because they knew that he didn't have relics.
Right.
And then we just, in that instance too, we played it too fast and they responded to how we played it very well. Like we didn't group up enough.
Sure. Yeah, games 3 and 4, then both. I mean, I said it at the end of the set. You know, I've been casting for a long time at this point, and I don't know if I've ever seen a best of 5 go the way this one did, where one team absolutely dominates game 1, and then gets literal. I don't think I've ever seen in a best of 5 a team get blanked in back-to-back games. Period.
Yeah.
But especially with the way that this set started, like.
Didn't that happen today too?
I don't think. Did you guys? Was
there? Did you guys make him kill this?
Yeah, you guys owned them, but you didn't. They didn't have 0 kills, right?
Yeah, no. Game 3 was 11-1, and Game 4 was 17-0.
Jeez, yeah. This is. I was actually talking with Answer about this before the podcast. I feel like right now, I would not describe Smite as super snowbally, but. Maybe I should be, because we see so many shutouts. Like, I feel like we've seen way more shutouts this year. Why do you think that is, BaRRa?
I think it's just really hard to kill people right now. Like, if frontliners don't want to die, they don't have to die. And, like, most frontliners will die in a fight because they're overextending, trying to make, like, too much room, or it's, like, the very end of a fight and everyone's just dying at that point. And I think it's really hard to kill frontliners at, like, past a certain point. I think their builds just come online so fast, but if you're a carry and you get behind against a frontliner right now, like, I'll be, like, tied in gold with support players. And if you're at that point, you can't win. Like, you can't kill anyone. You auto-attack for 70. Like,
I say that all the time, man. If I'm playing ranked and I press tab and the enemy support is the same level and same gold as me, well, realistically, they'd be the same level and have more gold than me if they're their starters. I don't want to play the game anymore. Like, nothing breaks my mental faster than that. Because they do more damage than me and don't take any and have CC. So, but that's how it's always been in Smite. Maybe that's just happening more frequently. I don't know, Aror. What are your thoughts on that?
I just feel like the teams just, like, over the years, like, people have just gotten a lot better at, like, playing the map. And I actually think, like you were saying, how the Scarabs play is sometimes bad, but it's also really good sometimes because they can make kills happen because a lot of teams, like, when they get behind, they want to just try to take the smart play and do things, but like the famous line of Season 5 Smite that Sino would always say is, if we get behind, we have to clown. It's time to clown. We gotta clown at fire. So that's what we'd always do. We'd go to fire and we would just fight it if we were behind or ahead, no matter what. And we would just play stupid because it's the best way to play when you're behind. Because at that point, there's a point in the game, like today in game 1, we could talk about it later, but I just want to bring it up because it's good comparison. We were super far behind and we're just trying to play the map, like, too smart. I feel like we needed to play more dumb to get back into the game. Like we had to do something stupid that they're like, what are they doing? And then it works for us and we get back in the game. Because teams nowadays are like way too good at finishing off the game, and teams don't make as many mistakes as they do anymore if both teams are playing the map really well. So you kind of have to play the map kind of stupid sometimes. I don't know. Maybe not stupid is the word, but that's what I feel like at least. Yeah, but like the way the Scarabs play sometimes, like it looks bad maybe, but maybe it's the best way they could play the game if they get behind. Kind of. I don't know. Yeah. They're probably the best team at doing that. Like when they get behind, they could bring it back in.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, and I think that it's something that I try and illustrate whenever teams do that on the cast is, if let's say that you're 10k down and you play the map perfectly in order to not just insta-lose the game, and it's all in the name of setting up a fight on your Phoenix 5 minutes from now, where your chances of winning that fight and then winning the game are like 10%. Like you've got 10% chance to win that fight and win the game eventually.
They have to make a mistake, yeah.
Right. But if we just say, whatever, we're going to go raw pull fire, and maybe they just don't show up, maybe that's a 12% chance to win the game. And so that too, it's still, like, it doesn't look good. It still likely doesn't work. But I'd take that if we can map it all out, the 12% chance is better than the 10% chance. So we should do it.
Like, it's basically our game 1 against Dragons. Like, us watching doesn't do anything.
Right.
So we have to do something that they won't expect. But then it's like, when you're in the game, you're like, oh, we can't kill their support. If we 5-man solo, we probably can't kill that guy either. So in the game, you're like, we can't kill anyone.
Hard. Yeah.
But from a top-down perspective, you're just like, you guys have to do something. You have to do anything because you're literally just bleeding out. Like, you have to do something.
Yeah, with every objective they get, your percentage dips and dips and dips.
And then you're 10k down and you have an Afro mid, so you can't do damage to frontline. You're just like, you end the game, 4k damage, the enemy ADC has 6k damage, and you're just like, yep. Barn burner of a game. Really enjoyed that one. Like, I don't know.
That's doing nothing and losing has to be the worst feeling ever. Yep. Like, I've been a part of many of those games, so it just feels really bad.
Yeah, definitely not fun. I did want to talk about this Game 4 draft in this semifinal set, Aror, because your Khepri was a standout during Phase 2 playoffs. You didn't play it a ton this weekend, but it looked really good in this game in particular. And I was pretty critical of the Pele pick on the desk. Is that, like, for either one of you, I suppose, I feel like in that position, Pele is, like, the exact type of god that Khepri wants to play against. It's pretty single target, wants to trade 1-for-1 against a high priority target in the late game, and obviously Khepri is pretty good against that. And Sam did get to see almost the whole draft. It was only the Charybdis that was picked after it. I think Pele is good right now, for the record. I think that's like a playable jungler, but didn't love it in that draft in particular. Aror, how did you feel about that pick for Sam?
I think I like playing Pele a lot, actually. So, like, that character, if you just get going on it, you can it doesn't matter what you're playing against. So, you just can win basically. If you get like a couple kills and you start snowballing and get items on, you just, like, you ult someone. I don't even think it matters if they Khepri ult. Like, you have so much damage. You have 2 1s. Your ult does AoE splash damage. I don't know. Like, if you get going, it's really easy to win on that god. So I feel like it was like a okay pick, and I think a lot of the picks that Sam played a lot were banned besides Osiris, I think. I might be wrong, though. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm looking at your bans. You guys banned Erlong and Susano and had picked Kama. I think I was saying on the desk I wanted him to pick either Thana or a Willix, because you guys had Camazotz and Tiamat, and they had Ganesh, Mulan, Sol, 3 gods with knockups, and Sam's really good at a Willix. So if they wanted to pick pressure junglers, that felt like a little bit easier to execute. But I mean, no assassin is great into Khepri because that's what you want to do is like dump your buttons into one guy and insta kill them. But I don't know. That's what I wanted.
You can make an argument that Pele is maybe a little bit better because I feel like he does AoE. You can hit multiple people like in a fight with Pele's abilities.
That's true.
And I feel like a lot of assassins don't do that. Like there's like Susano ult, like Osiris is like one of the picks he plays. Like it's kind of more single target than Pele in my opinion.
Right.
I don't know. It's obviously like Khepri's just good into junglers. Like
right.
It's just rough for them. So. But I think it was like, if you get going on a jungler right now, they're just, BaRRa knows how strong junglers are when they get going.
Love it.
Pele's a pretty good one if you get rolling.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I feel like it's what we talked about just before that, but in a pick form. Like, what you just did the last 2 games hasn't been working. I just want to pick a comfort pick or a smork pick. I mean, their whole draft seems like comfort/smork to me.
Yep.
Like, it's Mulan, Pele, Sol, I mean, Ganesh, whatever you're facilitating at least, and then AMC. But the problem is that they're not actually, like, getting a lead in this game. They're not... Like, if Scarabs were playing this draft, it'd be messy.
Yeah.
But with Dragons playing this... I don't know if they get in their head against Titans or something, but they just seem to play the map slower or, like, more respectfully, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Pele should basically be ulting off of cooldown in any lane and just forcing plays. And because if you get a lead with that draft, you can snuff them out. But if you don't do anything with that draft, then you're awkwardly at a 5v5 at gold, and you're like, "What's our engage? Like, what are we doing here?"
Or I saw you smiling.
Like classic.
Were you smiling about the Ganesh and it being first pick in the set?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
I knew you were. Best god in the game, baby, Ganesh.
The most OP character in the game.
I hate that character.
He literally counters. I've been saying this. He counters every god. He has a silence. He's literally the best character in the game. You can ask Moswell.
It's true. I will say, Aror, that you can't speak whenever you're using your 2 has become. I still I'll go and playtest once a week with design and that kind of stuff. And if anyone's playing Ganesh, everyone will say it as soon as you're 2ing someone. That you gotta let them know that they
the
can't
counter.
Speak.
You gotta call Ganesh the counter. He's the counter. He counters everybody.
Just like Paul Pierce was the truth, Ganesh is the counter. That's all there is to it. Aurora, I knew it was either that you were smiling about Ganesh or that you were smiling about Mint Mobile's brand new deal that they got going on. I thought it might be that, because here's the deal, fellas. This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll get another 3 months for free. That's crazy. 3 months for free. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. We've been using this Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I gotta say, it's the perfect time to switch. BaRRa, I mean, imagine, but Destiny already saved so much money whenever you guys switched to Mint Mobile, but
an infinite amount of money, actually.
Infinite, yeah. BaRRa is actually rich now.
We're actually making money.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mint Mobile basically pays them at this point. I guess they kind of do, huh? Because they sponsor this podcast. I didn't even think about that. BaRRa, imagine if Destiny would have gotten buy 3 months, get 3 months free with this holiday deal. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, but we're still making money, so it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're rich now. We have reached the limit of infinite money.
Aurora, you're doing great to help us sell us, man. Keep it up. Aurora's giving us the thumbs up and the nod this whole time.
I was dying at Aror.
Listen, here's the deal with Mint Mobile, guys. It is a great idea for a holiday gift for someone you don't. Everyone needs a phone plan. If you don't know what to get a family member or something like that, buy 3 months of Mint Mobile for them. They get 3 months free. They get to keep their phone number. They get to keep all their contacts. They get to keep their phone. And their plan comes with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. So, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months free by going to mintmobile.com/backliners. That's mintmobile.com/backliners. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/backliners. There you have it, fellas. There you go. Good holiday gift idea. All right, Leviathans and Kings, the other semifinal. Like I said, I got this set was going to be fast.
Yep.
The Kings did not look particularly clean, but like we discussed, the Scarabs kind of make you play that way at times. Leviathans did come in looking really good, and game 1 they like absolutely owned them. 15-2 was never really that close. It felt like Zap was going hammy salami on the Artemis in this game.
I was very jealous of him.
I feel like all hunters want to be playing Artemis these days. Like,
She's just so much fun, dude.
But until your board doesn't do what you want, and then you go.
Wanker's just going through the team fight. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody's stunned.
And you see like 500, 600 on their backline. You're like, nice, I won the fight.
Did that.
Sick.
Guys,
I did that.
You just inspired me for a beautiful Artemis skin concept there, Aror. What about pinball Artemis?
Oh my god.
Oh.
You know,
That'd be
like
genius.
the alt just is like a ball and it makes like the ding 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 sound as you're, like,
That's actually
everyone.
genius, bro.
Wait, that's actually sick.
That's
a
actually a great idea.
3. I'm writing it down, baby. I know where to take that too. But it takes a long time for skips to come out. So like season 10, here we come for pinball Artemis. Yeah, okay, but then the Kings kind of bounce back in this set. Aror, again, obviously watching the set pretty closely. What did you see? I want to talk about game 5 like separately almost, because that one was a particular tilter for me. But through the first 4 games of this set, what were some of your takeaways?
Yeah, going to the set, I thought it was going to be pretty close. Because I thought the Kings would play better because that was like their first game at LAN. So I actually thought there's probably a good chance that the Scarabs could maybe take the set because they're a team that plays can just sneak one away from you, especially if you're not ready. Like, and that was their first set against them. And then going into this set, I thought they were going to play a lot better. Leviathans came in game 1, they played really well, and then it was back and forth from there. And then game 5, like you're saying, I thought that their draft was pretty good, but the way they executed the very late game was kind of weird, especially coming from the Leviathans, because I always feel like they play the late game fights pretty well, but they kind of, I don't know. I just feel like they rushed it like uncharacteristically from them. Like they're usually more calculated and willing to take fights that they can play together as more.
Yeah.
Cause like the one fight that sticks out to me is when Zap pulled Fire Giant after they got them off fire. They did a lot of poke to them. And I think he pulled it because there was a fire wave going to the Titan.
Yep.
And I feel like if they just didn't pull fire there, they would have won the game probably. If they just sent Panatone back or someone back to clear the wave, that team couldn't pull fire at that point. They could have got their Phoenix back up. And like Jarkor was playing Artio and they had Sylvanas, right?
Yep.
They had Artio, Sylvanas, Ra.
Yep.
So they had Sylv, Ra heal. The Kings took a lot of poke. They literally have, like, the Ra has no pen either, so, like, he's not doing any damage, but, like, he has Rod of Asclepius, so, like, they should play to that item and, like, actually heal and just sit back and watch them and be like, let them pull fire. Because when Zap pulled that, both Rangyu and Jarkor walked up, and they both took so much damage, and it was just really bad for them because then I think did both of them end up dying? Did you watch this set, BaRRa? Do you remember?
I'm trying to speed through it.
I think
I'm trying to remember as well.
One or two of them died, and then the game's just over. Like if you lose your front line like that, the game's over. Because I feel like there's no way the Kings can do fire there, and then they're just Sylvanas Ra. Why don't they just heal to full health and then like get their Phoenix back? Because they have Kali as well that game. Like they're gonna just do really well in team fights. I feel like if
I linked it in Discord.
They do it. I don't know.
I remember seeing that and I was like a little confused, and also I was confused kind of that whole game of game 5 because I felt like it seemed like they weren't actually out healing them like during the game. Like, but they have a raw Sylv, but then every poke fight was like
healing.
But it was like going even.
Well, yeah, but it was going even because the Kings like had every anti-heal item they could, basically. They had an Ankh, they had a Divine, they had a Brawlers, they had a Pestilence.
Well,
so
I
they
mean,
were
like,
over
out of
100%
combat.
anti-healed. Like, in the fights. They couldn't heal in the fights, basically, at all. Because they were 100% anti-healed. And there's an argument to be made, it's sometimes there is such a thing as drafting too much healing because then their anti-heal items become super efficient against a lot of players on your team. Like, I don't love picking Kali with a bunch of healers because you want them to feel bad about having to build anti-heal against the Kali, but if you're building it against the raw Sylvanas RDO anyways, and then the Kali doesn't get resets, then you're like, oh, great, I don't have to really worry about that a whole lot. So, I don't love that aspect of their draft, but look, I want to be very clear. Shinto is one of the best mid laners to ever play the game. Total beast. Have endless respect for his game. But this build is griefing. Like, it's a griefing build, straight up. Number one, Aror, if you're comfortable talking about it, they played Sylvanas a couple times alongside a healer, and Rongu never got Lotus Crown. I know Lotus Crown got nerfed, but, like, if you want the Lotus Crown, I'd much rather have it on Sylvanas than Rod. Is it, like, unpickable on that god, or what?
Yeah, the Ra must have wanted it, is, like, what I think.
Yeah, and that made no sense to me because they had Hunbats and Double Guardian and Heimdall. Like, that Ra, if that Ra's getting killed, the fight's already over. Like, Hunbats just doesn't have enough damage to kill you as Ra because you already get prots from your heal. So, like, I really don't feel like through relics Shinto should ever die. He ends the game 0-0-3, and maybe it's because he built Lotus Crown E-Staff Asclepius, but I feel like this comp had so much frontline setup. The Kings had really struggled against, like, Death Ball, like, running at them. And if he just goes, like, power and one-shot someone with his snipe, or they just completely ignore the fight and only focus on the objectives, and in order to secure them most easily, you need power, then either one of those avenues is way better than trying to... Like, 6-item Asclepius, like you said, you want to play around that, but, like, fights are over so quickly at that point, and they were so anti-healed that I don't know if you can play around it in the fight. It's only out of combat that Asclepius matters to you at all. And I feel like you should be full healing basically anyways, because your heal scales off power, so if he just built power, he would have full healed them out of combat anyways. I don't know. This game was a tilter, man.
Yeah.
I just, like... It's like I feel like this team has been so good during the season, and they've gotten so much better about not falling into these types of traps. And I'm not going to say it was the pressure or anything like that because it's impossible to say. They could have just had a rough game regardless of when that was going to be. But just so many times, I'm always trying to give benefit to the players because they're the ones out there doing it and they're practicing and they know what they're doing. But this one, I felt like there were so many clear interaction points that the Leviathans just didn't hit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one's right, honestly. I mean, I know from scrimming a lot in this current meta that it feels like if you're not dying, you're winning. So I feel like maybe that was his thought process for that build.
It has to be, I feel like.
Yeah, it has
Definitely
to be.
seeing from a top-down perspective, it looked kind of weird because... I mean, I assumed you were drafting the Kali for, like, a spot CC to, like, Raw combo with, but if you're doing that, then your Raw should be going damage.
Right.
But I don't know. Just watching these two teams play, they're just very slow-paced games and very, like, methodical and very neutral, objective-based. So I guess that he was thinking if he could just stay alive on, like, a immobile mage, I guess, he's winning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't disagree with your point. I'm just not sure what's right because the mage builds, like, I was kind of on your ship, Aggro. I thought the book build was like completely OP.
Yeah.
Like I thought that build was just insane. Like especially after
feels
the
really
dragon
bad to play against.
Yeah,
sure does.
The dragon set in game 2, I got Zong 1-2 for 1k, and I was like, what? Hello, he's got 2 items and he just 1k'd me.
Yeah,
he has a breastplate and 1,000 health shield.
Okay, sir. Sorry, I walked near you, sir. We'll do that again. Yeah, like in scrims, that build felt really insane to play against. I'm not sure about the spiking of it in mid or whatever, like if it feels good or feels bad to buy.
Sure.
But playing against it in team fights seems pretty OP, so I'm not sure why he went for the. I don't know. I also agree with the Lotus Crown. I think Lotus Crown is probably one of Sylve's best items.
Dude, it's so broken on that god. I can't imagine playing Sylvanas and not wanting that item.
But I know getting Thieves, I wouldn't say it's like a selfish thing, but it feels really good when you get the item finished. Like, you feel like unkillable, especially as Sylve, like, running on the map. You just feel like you can't die. But I don't know. I'm just a loser. You know, I'm just a spectator.
What was banned that game? There was a lot of mages gone, right?
Afro Hell and Morgan Le Fay were banned by the Kings, and Oleron got banned.
Tia?
Yeah, they picked Tiamat top 2, and they last picked the Ra. And I think Ra can be really good in this meta. I'm kind of just a Ra believer, but not with this build.
I just think, like, the other thought process for me is, I don't know how much they played Ra in scrims. We scrimmed them a little bit, but like, the thing is that that build, like going Lotus Crown on Hell and stuff, is like really strong.
Right.
So maybe they just thought, I'm just gonna play the Ra like the Hell.
Right. The other 2 games they had it. He built Lotus Crown on Afro and on Hell, and I like it both on those picks because those picks need to be closer to deal their damage. But Ra gets to do his damage from far away, so you don't need the prots.
So that's my thought process, at least. Like, it's good on those characters, and he probably played those characters more in practice, and he's like, Ra's another healer, Ra's good with Kali, I'll just get the Lotus Crown again and run it back, even though, like, maybe it wasn't the best pickup, but, like, I could see his thought process why it would be good, at least, in my, like, that's what I think.
Definitely. And even if the Kings draft looks a little bit different, like, if it's, you know, Camazot's Nike or Camazot's Achilles, and like I'm getting dove by physicals, then it makes more sense to me there too. But like I said, I just don't think Hunbat's, like, if Hunbat's is killing me, we lost, man. Like,
and they had Sobek too, right?
Right,
so,
and they had Sobek, so no traditional warrior. So
I think having Pen's definitely good there probably, but it's just I just think we're so practiced on playing that style with the other healers, and I don't know how much they played Ra in scrims. I don't even remember if they played it against us in scrims, so maybe they just like, let's just do it again. I'll just do it on Ra this time if they're gonna ban all the other gods, because he's a good Ra player historically. So that's
very good.
That's what I feel like his process was.
Yeah.
One last like little hindsight Harry thing for me.
Yeah.
If he did go full damage and he did go raw to Hootie, he can probably secure that Fire Giant way easier.
Exactly.
Because they were dancing around that thing for a long time, and I don't think his snipe safely does enough damage to secure fire.
Yep.
Like in a 100% game 5 situation.
Yep.
So if he's full offense raw, that thing's chunking.
Yep.
So you can probably make that play a little easier, but obviously that's super hindsight. Like, yeah.
Yeah, of course. But that's what a podcast is, BaRRa. That's what we're here to do, baby.
Also, shoutouts to Nitroid for Aegis-ing every Raw ult that game.
Dude, his Aegises were so good.
But he didn't even need to Aegis it because it hit him for 300.
I know, it did no damage at all, but my man was ready.
He was just Aegising it anyways. It was funny though.
As a
he has Kepri passive, and it only does like 300-400. He's just Aegising it on demand. It was great. But it's funny to give shoutouts to that though, because I just noticed when I was watching, he Aegised like everything perfectly.
It was really good, dude. Okay, I was talking with some people before this weekend, and Netrioid is such like an interesting playstyle, and I figured out exactly what it is. Tell me if you guys agree. Netrioid is Arkill 2.0. I feel like he's exactly like Arkill in so many ways. Like traditionally his god pool has been fairly small, though it has expanded over these last few weeks, so gotta give him credit there. But he like looks unbeatable on like 2 to 3 gods, and struggles at times on other ones. That's been the storyline for him during a lot of this year, and will absolutely embarrass people regularly and make them look foolish. But then also sometimes just like forget to press his relics and lose his team a fight. Like, I feel like he's just like Arkill. Thoughts?
That's a fair comparison.
He doesn't play Ullr though, right?
He does not play Ullr. That's the Arkill special.
Arkhill was a good. So what were Arkhill's gods? Bear knows better than me. Probably
It was
on her,
Uller,
Rama,
and Ram. I feel like.
Yeah, that's what I was
Arkhill
gonna
gods.
say. The 3.
And Chernobog.
Yep.
Those were like the Arkhill gods.
Oh yeah, he slam dunked me on Bog. That's right.
Yeah, those were the Arkhill gods. And Netrioid has his, man. He's got Iza, he's got Heim, you know, he's got and he's got Ram. Like he's got
R.I.P.
those.
Jingwei.
Yeah, R.I.P.
That's
Jingwei.
fair.
God's dead.
That's fair, dude. Jingwei's the worst character, man. Like
she feels so bad.
Yeah, she doesn't feel great.
No, she's just even when she's good, she's bad. She's literally the best worst character that's ever been in the game, in my opinion.
Well, listen, all we got to do is give her Fatalis back on her 3, and I'll bet you she'd feel real good.
Oh yeah.
You know, Jingwei is the Geb of hunters because, like,
True.
as a support player, you don't want a Jingwei in your lane on your team. And as a hunter player, you don't want a Geb in your lane on your team. So it's really funny. So if they're ever mixed, that's like that's the lane right there. That's
the ultimate duo.
Jingwei Gab.
Yeah.
Jingwei Gab, please
lose.
take our purples.
Yeah. I'll see you in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Hopefully
we don't want
not
our
12K
purples
mine.
anyways. That's definitely the comp to pick. All right, finals today. Kings go up 2-0. Kind of similar question to you, Aurora. Were you doubting at any point whenever you guys were down 2-0?
Cycla said it the best, honestly. It didn't even feel like we were down 2-0. I don't know why, but it just didn't. It was really weird. I don't even know how to explain it. Like
That's lucky, dude.
We were down 2-0, but it just didn't feel like it. We were just like, okay, it's time to play more Smite.
Bear, did it feel like you were down 2-0 against the Dragons?
Yeah. Okay, I've had the mentality that Auror's had sometimes, and it's just like, oh, we're not actually losing, we're still gonna win. And then you have the sets where you're actually down 2-0, and you're like, well, here we go. Hopefully game 3 turns around. But yeah, it's just weird. Sometimes that just happens. Like, your whole team's just like, you've got that confident vibe going for you, and you're just like, well, we're going to win, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know. It's a very lucky mentality. I don't know if it's like RNG, you wake up that morning or what, but yeah, I've definitely felt that.
Felt good. I don't know. I was like, we're fine. Like, especially game 2, we're gonna win the game right there if someone backed. And Cyclone said that someone should have backed there, but I misheard him, and I'm like, I thought he said that Scylla was gonna contest fire, so I'm calling to like look for the Scylla instead. But he actually said someone needs to back, and then no one else was thinking that way besides him. And what he said. He said back. He should have said, like, I told him he needed to say, like, backdoor or Titan, and I would have understood what he was saying better. But he actually said, and I just, like, he probably said, I just misheard him, like, completely. And then it was just, because if one person backed the game, we have EFG, our Phoenix is coming back up, we're going to win that game. Like, we have healing.
Right.
Like, I shouldn't say we're going to win the game, but we're in a good spot there.
You're pretty heavily favored.
Yeah. So after that game, we're just like, dang, that sucks. But like, as long as we don't make a mistake like that again, and we just continue to play and team fight well, like we got this. At least it felt like.
Yeah, game 3, you guys dominate 11-1. Wasn't super close. Big Man did put out a ton of damage on Tiamat this game. Holy, he did 27k. But that one wasn't super close. Game 4, I went to get Zaxby's for lunch, and the game was over by the time I got back. So that was something, I suppose. But looks like your right side of the map kind of just went off. Benji and Layers went 11-0, and you're winning a lot of games where that happens.
Benji was having fun, that's for sure.
And then game 5, this game. Man, this is just going to become the Aggro Complains About Mid Builds podcast at some point. But I hated this build from Big Man Tings, man. It's really, I've always been a hater of Kronos, or of like CDR Scylla. I feel like Scylla's whole identity is that I want to kill the first person I hit. Like, I want every button to basically kill someone. And Kronos Pendant just doesn't do that for you. And he didn't have any pen until his 6th item. I don't know, man. I'm just a huge hater of CDR Scylla. He did it in game 2. It ended up working. But Like
Crush passive.
Yeah, crush passive's there, man. Aror, you got crushed for like 390 at 30 minutes into the game. And I'm like, if that's happening, what's the point?
I tried to lose us that game right there. That was so bad. Oh my god. I literally saw Scylla dash, and I'm like, Scylla dash! Dash! Get up to Scylla!
Gotta go!
We literally, I saw her dash over the wall, and like, Layer's like, yeah, kill him! And he flicks it, and yeah, me and Layer's were like the clown squad. That game, we're talking about it before. We're like, yeah, we're just gonna, we know what we want to do. We're gonna play it this way. And then I see Scylla I'm like, Scylla dash, and I start jumping at her. And then Layers blinks on her off my knockup. We get her Aegis, and I start ulting. And Layers like, Scylla's getting pulled. Scylla's getting pulled. And Cyclone's like, no, she's not. She's not getting pulled. So funny.
Cyclone just like by fire, like she's not.
Like,
yeah, she's not.
Yeah, she's not getting. And we're just in there, and I don't know. That was bad, and they could have started coming back off that play. I ended up dying. They tried pulling fire, I think, and then I wasn't dead, so I didn't see what happened. I was walking back, but they got Twig really low. They got his mantle, I think. And then they had to back up, and then we were just able to reset and then do what we wanted to do, like in the first place. I saw that Scylla dash, and I almost lost us the game because she was like that build. The one thing about that build is when you have that build, you cannot kill her. Like she has a 1,000 health shield,
sure.
So like. Even if she dashes like that, you don't want to go on her because she's gonna get into her NASCAR.
Yeah, but Aror, she still has 100 health shield. She has 1,000 health shield whenever you go Soul Reaver 3rd, then Obshard 4th, and then Rod 5th. Like, you still have the shield. The Chronos Fenda doesn't give you outright mana. It's only MP5.
Dude, that is a big shield, though. Holy, he literally heals
BaRRa, she gets the same shield, man. She gets the same shield.
Yeah, the clip you linked right when I went on her dash was down, and then yeah, I don't know. That fight was so bad. It's like, I didn't even realize that's how I died. I could have lived there. I just realized I died to Scylla. I was like, what killed me? I thought I died to Susanna. I was like, dude, junglers are OP. That's what I was thinking in my head when I died there. I was like, how does Susanna kill me? But I guess it was Scylla now. Watching it back, because that's the first time I saw it.
Yeah, you got kind of slammed there.
Because Twig was on me. I'm like, how does he kill me from that much health?
Yeah, Scylla will help.
Junglers.
OP junglers. Yeah. Hey, I'm right there with you. BaRRa, overall thoughts on this set? Worth noting, by the way, that the kill count in total for this set, the Titans got 47, the Kings got 16. So it wasn't the kill count does not. A Game 5 set maybe doesn't do justice to the kill counts at the very least. But I guess a lot of the last 3.
We did a nothing play like you guys did against the Dragons in the first 2 games, kind of. We did nothing. We sat there and said, you guys can win.
Go on. Objectives, yeah.
Now give it to them. Here you go. Yeah, they had 4 kills in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
4 kills in the last 3 games. That's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, BaRRa, your thoughts?
I thought you guys were gonna get 3-0'd, honestly. Like, from a top-down perspective, I was like, there's no way they can mentally come back. And then in talking to you now, it's like, you didn't even care. Like, it doesn't even matter that you lost 2 games. Like, who cares? But from a top-down perspective, it looks like so much different, or looks so much more, like, stressful, I guess, from actually being in the moment with the mental that you guys have. And so I thought you guys were done, and then it was just like one fight turned into another fight, into another one, and then Kings, after, it was like game 4, I kind of knew that you guys had won, because Kings just looked, like, on their cams, they just looked done. And I was like, oh no, like, they look stressed out. And then in game 5, I think it was when they traded the map 50-50 at 2 minutes, and like, Twig went to red and perp to invade, and then they just left Harry on the island. I was like, the game's over. You can't do that to a rat solo. You can't just put him on an island and like, good luck over there. And he just never came back in the game from my perspective.
playing ranked in solo, I know it's not really the same as comp, but like losing your blue is like a character that you feel like you shouldn't lose your blue on feels really bad.
Yeah. And I think he made like 2 tilt plays after that. After it was like after his second or third blue they invaded, he just like Benji, like he dashed into Benji and then Benji forced his ult, and I was like, yeah, that the game's over. Like Harry's not going to be able to make like a good impact like he normally does on Rat. And I think, he lost his tier 1. He was like 3 levels down against the Nike. Like, the Nike's obviously just going to run the game and ruin the backliners' lives while you're behind Rat tank. Like, you won't do, like, anything that game. You won't make an impact. The backliners have no respect for you.
Okay, last thing I'm going to say about it. It's just crazy that Big Man built no pen when the Nike was gonna, like, you know the Nike's huge. You know you got to kill that guy at some point.
Uh-huh.
You need pen to kill him, and he goes Chronos pendant, man. I was losing. He had full bulwark before the Chronos pendant was done, and I was like, surely he makes it Charon's here, because otherwise they never kill Benji until he has 6 items, and then he didn't.
I need to talk to a math guy about these mage builds.
Dude, that's what Cyclone was saying. He's like, the mages really need a math guy. Dude, like the hunters have.
They do.
It doesn't make sense. How can you not build pin? That'd be like an ADC building like trans and like full like blood forge, and then just building all those items.
No Xe, you get no wind demon, and then 6 item, and then like you finish your starter, and then 6 item you go dominance and go, that should be good enough. Like, I got him now. No, man, you need pen.
Maybe it's good. Maybe I'll go trans, Bloodforge, Devos, Oboe, and then see if it works. You know,
if it works.
See what happens.
To be fair, like talking to Moswell, like he doesn't like the pen either, but he said like E-Staff, like he said he tested it himself, like against tanks, like E-Staff does more than pen would do.
Sure,
that's
crazy.
I've talked to Moswell a little bit, I've talked to Hurry a little bit, but I think that it's so important, like, at your 3 item power spike, E-Staff's good, but what about at 4 items, is it better to have E-Staff or 20% pen? And 5, and like, finishing your starter, and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not just about those moments, you know?
Well, the thing is, you have to buy Soul Reaver, like, it's just better than pen as well. So, like, because, like, the mage build right now, like, since they nerfed Chiron's coin, like, they took, what, how much power? 20 power off it or
like
something?
10 or 20.
Yeah, it's now a 70 power item, so
yeah, so like you don't get that anymore. So you get, what do you get first? You get Chronos Pendant, Book of Thoth, or what's the other item they go? Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, so like Morgan will go Doom Orb sometimes.
Yeah, Doom Orb. So you get Morgan's not even a mage.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
But so yeah, you have Chronos Pendant or Book of Thoth, and then like after that, the Book of Thoth build, you want to go Breastplate or Book of the Dead, right? Is your second item in that build,
right?
And then like,
but that's why I really like that build, because it's super easy to go Book of Thoth, Book of the Dead, Soul Reaver 3rd, because it doesn't feel as bad to go Soul Reaver 3rd because you're double dipping on Book of the Dead passive, and then you can get Obshard 4th, and that, like, the difference between getting Obshard 4th and Obshard 6th, because everyone's finishing their starters first, like, I think is that's such a, it's 15 minutes, especially through like the late game.
Yeah, the problem there though, which every mage says, which I believe, because I feel it too, if they don't go Breastplate, even with Book of the Dead, if a jungler blinks on them, they're gonna die, because the jungle items are like insane right now. So I feel like that's why, in my opinion, like if junglers weren't so like powerful, the mage build would probably be better. Because like I feel like on the healers too. Look at the healers; they get Lotus Crown.
Yeah.
For the jungler, that's why they go it. Like
right.
Like they're like, these mage builds aren't like, they're not trying to go full damage, because the junglers just, if they see them not have defense, they're just gonna go on the mid laner and kill him for free. Like, it doesn't matter where he's at; he's gonna get blinked on and die.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like, because like you have to build, so like that's like that build. So what did Shinto go on Ra again? I still disagree with the Asclepius last. He probably should have got pen 6 item at least. But what did he go first on the Ra
Chronos
that
Pendant.
game?
It was
he went Chronos Pendant. Yeah, so what? Sans, Chronos Pendant, Lotus Crown, right?
Yep.
So,
Lotus,
E-Staff, Soul Reaver.
Yeah,
Asclepius.
I don't think Lotus Crown, like, I agree as well that it's probably better on Sylve that game, but the reason he's getting it is for the jungler, even if it's just the Humbots, because junglers are that strong. Like, without that, he's going to get blink ulted. Even if he beads it early game, he gets one shot by the Humbots if he doesn't have prots. Because junglers just do that much damage.
Right.
Like, you need prots as a mid laner right now to live a jungle. Because, like, jungle damage is just crazy, and that's why everybody's going defense and mid, for sure.
All right, nerf junglers. You sold me, Aror. We'll get that done. You know, we'll take these pesky junglers out of the meta, and
finally,
and then we can make it work. Or maybe we just everyone just one shots each other, and it's more fun that way. That's the way I think Smite is the most fun.
Yeah, personally. I like the jungle thing is crazy though. Like, think about it. Like, these mid laners are complaining about like not being able to kill tanks, but they could kill tanks because you're complaining right now. Why don't they go pen? If they go pen, they can kill the tanks. But if they go pen, they die to the jungler. So like that's the problem right there. Like they have, I think you can make an argument maybe that the coin nerf was a lot or something. Like, maybe, but I feel like the bigger thing is like all the maces got buffed and the junglers just one shot you now.
Yeah.
And it's like. And if you just let them one-shot you, you're never gonna win a fight.
Right. Yeah,
you're not
getting one shot.
You're not gonna have Aegis either, like, because like, if a jungler backs and buys Jotuns or Crusher or Brawlers, like, they took 5 power off of Jotuns. It's 45 now, but they have 7 more power on Bumba's Dagger. That's 52 power. You go Crusher. What's Crusher? Is it 40 power with the passive, or is it 50 power now? And I know Brawlers
40.
is 50. Yeah, it's 40 power. It was 30 before. I think they gave it 10 more power. They also gave Bumba 7 more. 47 power with a ticking dot that scales up. I don't know. It's just like they have to itemize against there's too many classes that the mid laners have to itemize for, and that's their issue right now.
Yeah. It's tough
like,
being a mage. I agree with you there.
I actually think mid's the worst role. By a mile. It's easy for me to say because it's just too many things you have to build for. You have to kill frontliners. You have to also live to the jungler. So like,
or just let your ADC die the jungler while you free cast.
Yeah, that as well. It's just like, it's just so bad.
Just
Smile.
Cheeky little
Don't worry,
smile.
man. I'll die. They can dive me.
You're just a little, you're just a tasty little piece of meat, Barry. That's all there is to it.
I'll double relic. I'll dash away. I'll buy time. You know, you free cast. You know.
So that's why we probably saw Hunters mid as well, because they deal they have an easier time to deal with junglers. Like, they can trade them way better because they can go like the mids. Big Man was playing, he goes to jungler item. Same thing with AMC. So they're just as strong, so they can fight back. And then their Hunters at the end of the game. Sure, their team's gonna have like really good itemized builds to deal with like a double Hunter backline, but they at least have like comparable damage to a mage, even when their team is completely itemized. But they also can fight a jungler, and then they have the ability to do objectives. So I don't know. That's what I think. It's just it's really hard to be a mage. I 100% agree right now.
Yeah.
So that's why people pick Morgan, because she's not a mage.
There you go. I just become the assassin. Class. Yeah, you just become the assassin with all the maces, and then it feels good.
Dude, playing against 2 Nikes or 2 Cthulhus or 2 assassins, it's so fun. Actually, it's so fun.
You love it. It looks like you love it.
Yeah, playing against 2 Cthulhus, I mean, this guy right here, he knows. You literally can't see anything on your screen. You can't. It's just there's just so many effects and animations just flying around every which way, and then you get double knocked up, double slash, double like healed against. Like
they're just speeding each other up.
Yep, and you just get run over. You're like, nice, cool. I can really fight back here.
The best feeling is when you're in the middle of one of those team fights with both Cthulhus on your team, and they're both healthy, and you're like, okay, I'm just walking with them.
You feel like you're like a kid walking across the street, like when your parents are holding each of your hands. You're like, they're swinging you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That's the way it feels, just walking through a team fight. Just you don't got a care in the world, baby. They can't hit you if they tried.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fun. All right, well, Aror, congratulations on the win. Thanks for coming on to the podcast. Always love having you. And that'll do it for us this week. This episode went a little long, but it was all good. So we're all.
I looked down and I was like, oh, we're at like 8:45. I feel like we just started.
I know. I feel like we just started. Well, last week's episode was so long that maybe that's just
true.
That's just the way it feels.
Yeah.
But
you're right.
Well, I hope everyone who celebrates is having a good Thanksgiving. That'll be good. That is not going to be our random question of the week, though, BaRRa, because that's going to be saved for next week.
Oh,
our random question of the week this week is brought to you by my lovely wife, who had a good idea, but it's inspired because we were watching Hey Arnold recently, which is on Hulu.
Good show.
Great show.
good show.
And
Great show.
The reality is that Arnold has the coolest bedroom of all time. Like, by far. That loft bedroom where you gotta pull down the stairs, he walks up,
true.
You got the huge skylight, the couch that comes out of the wall. It's just a vibe. I want to be in Arnold's bedroom. And so the random question of the week is, what is there like a dream room or a dream home, or, yard sort of thing that you have? Let's say you're going on Property Brothers and you have a $4 million budget, like everyone does on that show for some reason. And you get to have whatever, because I would have them build me an exact replica of Arnold's bedroom.
That's not a bad idea. I just want a pool. I want a nice private backyard and a pool. That's kind of just all I want. Because privacy is a big thing for me. Because, I had a nosy neighbor, and they kind of just stared at me every time I went outside.
Oh, yeah,
so
I remember that nosy neighbor. That was weird.
Yeah, I really value privacy and want trees around my whole, bushes, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I just want a pool. I've always enjoyed swimming, and I want just one of those nice big pools that I can just feel like I can just go outside in my own private backyard, go for a swim, and just enjoy the outdoors and not feel like someone's staring at me.
BaRRa, I have to tell you, there's a golf course we go to often, and on one of the holes, someone's backyard is pretty close to it, and they have the most perfect we joke all the time that we're just gonna break into this house and live there because their backyard is so perfect. They have this pool with these jets, and it looks like the most comfortable. They got a nice little overhang. They planted a palm tree back there. It is unreal. It looks like the greatest backyard of all time. So when you said that, I instantly pictured that backyard. And
I need to edit mine.
It would be good.
Like a Florida-esque backyard with the little white rocks around it, I love those little, they're soft on your feet and they feel good. Okay. And then also a little garden, just a little garden. Okay, I'm finished. Sorry.
Aror, what's you got anything that comes to mind?
All right. Sorry, this doesn't answer the question, but on the topic of Hey Arnold, what's it called? Really quick, what's it called if you have a memory of something but you don't know if it's real or if it's not real? What's that called? But anyways,
but I know what you mean exactly.
On the topic of Hey Arnold, every time someone brings up Hey Arnold, the first episode that pops up into my head is the episode, and I don't even know if this is a real episode. I need to go back and watch it because I haven't watched it in so long. Is where Gerald, that's his best friend's name, right? Yep. Yeah. So Gerald, either I don't remember if he gets kicked out or if he moves out of his house, and he's doing laundry for the first time, and he does it wrong because he doesn't separate his whites from his colors and uses the wrong temperature. Is that an actual episode or not?
I do not remember, but it very well could be. I've only seen the first 3 episodes again.
Okay, because Mandela effect, someone saying in chat. I don't know if that's real, because that's the first thing that pops into my head, that episode. And I don't know if I'm making this up, because I did watch Hey Arnold a really good amount when I was younger. But for whatever reason, I just think of that episode. I don't know if that's real.
I was saying, it's funny that he mixed up his whites and his colors, because he always only wears that red long sleeve shirt with 33 on it. And I was saying that I want a shirt that just looks like that. I just want a long sleeve baseball tee that's red with 33, and one person's ever gonna get it, but we'll be boys, right afterwards.
Someone's got to tell me if they know eventually, though. Let me know, because I was actually gonna tweet that literally 2 weeks ago. I was thinking about it because I was talking to somebody about Hey Arnold, and I'm like, do you remember that episode? And they're like, I mean, I don't remember specific episodes. It's been a while since I watched it.
No,
but
I remember one specific episode, but I think that's the one everyone remembers, and it's the Stoop Kid episode. And it's very early in the show. The Stoop Kid's afraid to leave his stoop. Great episode. All right, how about the dream house or dream room sort of thing, Aror?
Oh, dream house, dream room.
Oh, someone in chat saying it's real.
Nice.
Gerald moves out.
Yes, dude. Okay.
That's
go. Amazing.
Season
that's
2.
Good to know. I think it was one of my friends. I gotta tell him like it's real because they were like, I don't know if that's real. I'm like, that's what I remember. But house, I don't know, just some place that's like, I don't want to live. Basically, I just don't want to live in like a city area.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want a nice place that's just away kind of from everything. That's not really like in the middle of nowhere. That's still access to other places, but I don't want to be like dead in the city, and just a good place to like chill out by yourself. Like maybe have like a garden or something. But it's also a lot of fun if you have like guests and friends over. I think that'd be a really cool place to have.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, what was I about to say? I was gonna say.
I was about to have a whole spiel.
No. Not me.
Really?
Dude. Literally never. What do you mean?
I thought you were gonna have a whole like monetization
God,
of like I'm gonna spend this 100,000 here, this 100,000 here.
No, I just want Harold's bedroom. That was what it was about, though. This something that makes me mad about Property Brothers and all these other HGTV shows is like a couple will come on, and they'll be they'll be like, yeah, my job is that I walk dogs with 3 legs, and my job is that I paint the wings of bees for people who harvest their honey. And our budget is $3 million. And it's like, where are you? You guys have the weirdest jobs that can't make this much money, and they always have these insane budgets. Like, where do they have to just make them up? They have to give them. HGTV must be giving them the money.
I heard that they had already purchased the house or the property before all of the shows, and then they just show the other 2 houses or whatever.
Oh, and Love It or Listed? Content. Yeah, I heard that about Love It or Listed as well. That happens in that show. But like, for these renovations, it'll be like, these crazy jobs that can't make that much money. That they just do it. They got the budget. Good for them.
Really far in debt.
Or they just go really far in debt. And if I have to be really far in debt in order to have Arnold's bedroom, then that's what I'll do. Because think of how much fun I'd have up there. All right, that'll do it, everyone. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Make sure you're giving us a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening or watching. As well as you head on over to mintmobile.com/backliners for $15 a month premium wireless service. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. Hopefully you get to spend it with some friends or family or both. And we'll be back next week with another episode of the Backliners. We'll see you then. Thanks again. BaRRa, you know what to do.
Bye.
He still got it.
Oh, man, that was clean.
That was clean.
That was pretty good, actually.